Why would an SEO agency that does 7 figures per year pivot into affiliate marketing? In this video, I'll interview James Norquay, the founder of Prosperity Media, the biggest SEO agency in Sydney, Australia. I first met James when he flew over for a private mastermind at the Chiang Mai SEO conference, and we've stayed in touch ever since. James is an absolute boss, literally, when it comes to large-scale SEO. Prosperity Media focuses on big enterprise whale-sized clients, and things are going well for them. 7 figures per year well. But in recent years, James decided to dedicate a significant part of his operations over to affiliate marketing. In this interview, we're going to find out why. What does he know that we don't know? How much money is he making from affiliate now? And most importantly, what are his SEO strategies that he's deploying to get these amazing results? Get ready for a killer interview. And remember to smash the like button, which is the equivalent of giving James and I an internet high five. Thanks. Let's get on to the show. James, thanks for coming on. Why don't you give us a brief introduction to who you are and what you're up to in this SEO world?
Hey everyone, my name is James Norquay. I run an agency in Sydney. We've got 19 employees. We do SEO. We've also got a stable of affiliate sites that we run. I've been in the SEO space over 16 years now. I originally started with a big MySpace layout site that got a few million visitors back in the day. I had, I've been running websites and doing SEO for a long time. So yeah, good to chat today, Matt.
Excellent. Good to catch up. It's been a while. So I want to hear all about your SEO story and everything you're up to right now as well. But why don't we take things back a little bit further? How old are you? Where were you born? And what kind of education did you get?
So I just turned 34 like 2 weeks ago in August. So I don't know, I'd say I'm relatively young, but I just employed someone who was born in 2003. So I'm feeling old. So basically I was born in Sydney. I went to uni. I did marketing and business. Basically before that, I worked in construction for my uncle's company. So I really realized, between the ages of 15 and 17, when I worked in construction, I realized how hard that job was and how I never wanted to do that. So in the nighttime, I was coming home and playing around with websites and learning how to code and stuff like that. And then, when I finished high school, I went to uni, and then I did marketing and e-marketing. So essentially that was what it was called back in 2005, 2006. It was called e-marketing. So it was like the uni's way of being innovative. And
Cool. Well, how'd you pivot from e-marketing into SEO? What did that journey look like?
So I was basically on car forums back in the day because I had some cars, and one day I was just chatting to someone on a car forum. This was back in 2004, 2005, and he said, I'm doing SEO for my car wallpaper website. And then I was like, oh wow, this sounds interesting. What the hell is SEO? And he told me about Digital Point forums and added me to some Skype chat with a bunch of other random SEO people. And from there on, I started a MySpace site, and then I started a whole bunch of entertainment sites in the music industry. A lot of the sites were monetized by AdSense. So I started making a lot of money through AdSense when I was 18. Basically started making money online, started trying to, just do anything, buying exact match domains, buying backlink packages on Digital Point forums. They were spammy, basically just blasting exact match domains and then getting them ranking in the US market. So I was driving a lot of traffic. I think one of my sites had 21 million visitors in the life of the site. So yeah, it was at the time, it was all just a blur, basically building up these sites and just playing around with SEO and testing different things. So yeah, that's kind of how I started the sites. And then, I was making money and buying cars and watches and stuff. And people were like, how are you making this money? Are you selling drugs? And I'm like, no, I'm making money online. But this was back in 2006, people didn't know like didn't really comprehend that you could make that kind of money online. And then my parents were like, you better go and get a real job. So after running the sites for like 2 or 3 years, when I was at uni, I moved to uni to nights, and I went and got a job in an advertising agency that like wanted to start an SEO division. And now this was back in like 2008, 2009. So it was still early days back then. Like SEO was kind of a dark art. I was in the team with I think there was like 50 paid search people, because at the time I joined what was the biggest advertising agency that was doing like Google ads back in the day. So they used to call it AdWords back then. And I was like the first kind of SEO guy. And yeah, basically my job was just to upsell people that were doing Google ads SEO and come in and just like, I was just thrown in the deep end from day one. Because when I started that job, I think in like the first week, my boss at the time was like, I'm moving back to Brazil. You're going to have to be the sole hire. So that was my first agency job, thrown straight in the deep end. And I had to basically learn quickly from there. And then, yeah, I worked there for like 4 or 5 years. And then I started the current agency, Prosperity Media. So yeah, we've been growing this company for like the last 9 years. And we've worked with some major brands in Australia, the US, Singapore. So it's primarily like most of our businesses in the Asia Pacific region. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. And then off the back of that, we've started to get back into affiliate sites. Had some staff that were like, can we start an affiliate site? We've also we've been running events for like the last 9 years. So we did like meetups where we just go and get like a SEO person to come and do a talk. We used to have networking drinks with SEOs. We ran like 80 events, and then we've basically got into conferences as well. So we run the big SEO conference at the start of 2020, which we had the pleasure of yourself coming and speaking at, Matt. And then we've had we've done a whole bunch of other little events and masterminds. Like we've really been getting into masterminds since COVID hit. So I think like a smaller number of people, like everyone sharing ideas, mostly focused on SEO and affiliate, these masterminds. But yeah, we've been getting some great people coming to them, guys like Alex Azuri and Tom Despigari and a few other random affiliate guys in Australia that you would have never heard of. Yeah, it's been really good.
It's awesome, man. And I think you're downplaying the success of Prosperity. As I understand, it's a multi-million-dollar annual revenue agency. You guys are the biggest in Sydney, arguably, in the SEO space. There's this concept of the one thing. And if you figure out something that works, you should double down on that. You should focus on that. What makes you decide to be interested in events and be interested in affiliate when you're doing so well with the agency side stuff?
Events, I didn't realize how much work it was going to be to do a big one. Like our big event was like 200 people. Like your big event's like 1,000 plus, you know, like, but it's a lot of work. Like, and events, I realized you don't make money from them. The value from events is off the tail end of it, you know, making connections, brand awareness, like putting your company as like the centerpiece of the event and being top of mind. So when someone thinks about SEO, they'll ask their friends, and then they're like, oh, I went to this event by Prosperity Media, and they're like an SEO specialist team, and they're great for that. Or meeting great people that come to the event, or yeah, like you don't make your money back right there. You're lucky if you can break even, but you make your money back on the tail end, I think, like from like referrals and new business. And yeah, like it's crazy with events. Like I feel like it's not a money maker if you want to do it well, like, and charge a fair price. But the agency, yeah, like we're definitely one of the largest specialist agencies in Sydney. If not Australia, there's like a couple of maybe bigger ones, but like we're definitely one of the biggest in Sydney that only do SEO and content. There's a lot of full service agencies that are way bigger, but like they do everything, and they might only have 5 people in SEO team. Like then we're definitely bigger. So they're spread thin usually.
But why get into affiliate at this point? I get events because that helps the agency, that helps you get to more clients. But being an affiliate, that's like an island in itself. It generates money by itself, doesn't interact with anything else. So why affiliate?
Yeah, so basically, like I've always been into websites, building sites, and I've always had sites. And yeah, I think like maybe 3, 4 years ago, some of the team members were like, "Oh, let's start some of our own sites. Like, let's test things on these websites. Let's get some stuff going on that front." And yeah, essentially because some of our team members like Dejan Mladanovsky, who used to work for our team, he was like, let's build up some internal properties, or that's how he called them. And yeah, essentially we started like we went out into the market, and what we did was we had a few ways of building them. Like we built sites from scratch, we acquired 4 affiliate sites, we built sites on expired domains as well. And essentially in the last like 3 or 4 years, we probably built about 20 sites. Out of those 20 sites, I'd probably say 3 of them have really taken off and started to make like decent money. By decent money, I mean like one of them's on track to make like 6 figures a year. So it's gone well, but it's a lot of work. Like I think the benefit of an affiliate site, you're going to get a bigger multiple if you want to sell it. Like if you want to sell an affiliate site, you can get a 40x monthly multiple. If you want to sell
50 now.
Yeah, well, 60 and definitely 60 in some niches, if not more, for the right site, you know. And if you got the right buyers, I think your multiples are going to be better than trying to sell an agency. Agencies are hard to sell because it's like people don't usually value agencies at large multiples. I think that's one key way that we did it. I think definitely testing new ideas. Anytime we want to test something, it's great to test it on the affiliate site, you know, like if we've got some crazy SEO hack that we want to test out, we want to canonicalize an expired domain to one of our other affiliate sites. We want to test some new schema that's just been released. We want to test Jarvis content on a site. We'll roll it out on a affiliate site first before we even do it on a client site, because we can test stuff quickly. You don't want to go to like a multi-billion-dollar client and say, I want to test Jarvis content on your pages. You're going to be like, get the out of here. Like, we don't want you to do that. Like, that's what I think the hidden beauty is for testing. It's definitely really great. Like, our team's happy to test it. Another thing that we've done in the last year or so is when we've had some new starters start, basically we'll say to them, like, we're going to give you a site, an affiliate site to learn on, and you can start learning on how to grow and learn about SEO. And we made it into a competition, so we've offered like a cash prize for whoever like makes the most traffic from SEO in a year. So the junior SEO members have been really excited by projects like that, where they've been incentivized. And yeah, like we're just testing all sorts of different stuff essentially.
That's awesome. Let's get into some more of those tests. Can you share any of the results that you stumbled upon through your testing?
Like, I mean, I think it's like some of the biggest tests we're doing is with expired domains, you know, like looking for certain expired domains and essentially trying to build them up. I think that's one thing that we've been testing a lot. Like I've probably bought like spent a shitload of money on expired domains over the last couple of years, just like from a testing point of view, just to rebuild them firstly, and then like see how they kind of get indexed. And essentially basically we're trying to like see how quickly they come back into Google's index, see how quickly we can get traction for commercial queries, stuff like that, you know.
What kind of characteristics are you finding in the expired domains that work, apart from the ones that don't really work?
I think
what things do you look out for?
I think one of the most important things you got to look for is like look at the site on Wayback Archive before you buy the expired domain. Like if it's already been rebirthed like 1 or 2 times and it hasn't gone anywhere. I think another thing that we always like to look at is, does the site have index pages in Google? Like how long has the site been down for? Like all these different factors you got to start thinking about, you know, like what's the quality of the link profile, you know?
Where do you get your domains from?
We basically buy like we're looking for Australian domains, so like we use sites like drop.com.au. That's a real popular one in the Australian market. A lot of our staff use Dropcatch. Some of our team in the past has used like Spamzilla to try to find expired domains. So yeah, essentially we're just looking for domains for affiliate sites. That's our main game. And we're just like testing, rebuilding them and seeing how things work and testing different factors. It's crazy. Like you can buy an expired domain for $500 and it can be a game changer. And then you can go and drop 10K on one and it can get no traffic. Like that's the risk. Like, and we've been there. Like, yeah, it's crazy how you don't know how well they're going to do. But I'm definitely still seeing expired domains dominating competitive verticals. Like I've seen some in some super competitive finance niches in Australia and the US. Like expired domains have come on in the last 6 to 12 months, and they're doing really well. And these guys they've been making 6 figures a month plus. You know, they know what they're doing. So but they're paying like top dollar for the domains. You know, these aren't cheap domains. So yeah, we're playing around with a lot of stuff like that. I wouldn't say that's like a big part of our job though. That's just something that we do for fun, you know, like looking for domains. And I'm actually like a domain name investor, so I'll buy like premium domains as well, like just for fun. Just doing all sorts of stuff, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, you've been in the game for so long, you're going to pick up all these weird idiosyncrasies in the SEO game.
100%. Like you can pick up like everything, you know, and then you go to these masterminds and you might get a few new ideas and then like fire out. Like we picked up tactics from masterminds and then you come back and you implement it on your affiliate site. And it's great. And that's why I love masterminds, because it's like it's a smaller crowd, high quality people. Everyone's just sharing goodies, like the type of stuff that you won't see online. You know, you won't see it on like Stephen Kang's SEO Signals Lab, or like you won't see it on like any of the other SEO groups. I really love those kind of those tactics. I mean, sometimes you do see really great tactics. Like I remember in the Affiliate Lab Facebook group, I've seen some great tactics people are sharing. Like we've definitely implemented a few of them. Like every now and then you'll see a post that's someone's tested something and they'll share like a really great strategy, and then you implement that and you make like a lot more money just from like a small implementation. And that's where the value is, you know, it's priceless.
It feels like the more exclusive the sharing container is, the more sharing that there's going to be. So like you'll have your course, which has a level of sharing because people paid to get in it. Then the mastermind, because it's hand selected, there's only 8 people showing up or whatever, you're going to get even more sharing. Yeah, I completely agree. And masterminds is like where I grow these days, 100%.
100%. Like, especially if you've got people that have already sold businesses for 7, 8 figures, you know, these are like really people at the top of their game. And then they've already tested everything under the sun. So you just ask them, like, what do you think about this? Or how have you approached that? And then they just lay it on you. Like, yeah, do this, do that. Like, this is a great way to grow. Like, talk to this person, use this thing. Like, that's priceless, you know? It saves you so much time.
Right. And I was going to save this for later, but I feel like it's probably a good time to share it right now. But I will be doing a mastermind this Q4 online for the Affiliate Lab. So I want the Affiliate Lab members to experience what that intimate setting is like and being able to share in a small group setting. So we're going to be doing something like that online and giving all the money to charity. So I'm super stoked about that.
No, that's a great idea. And like, I highly advise, like, if people are watching that, to get involved, because you're going to get priceless information, you know, even if it's a couple $100, like you'll make the money back. Like that's the crazy thing about when you run an event and you charge like $300 or something. Someone's like, oh, I don't know, it's $300, and it's like you're gonna make $50,000 or $100,000 back if you come to this damn event. Like you're gonna make the money back. Like that's the thing. Like you gotta just take the risk, and I'd highly advise people go to these type of events because it's priceless. The information that people share, and I think the good thing about masterminds is you get like SEOs that are the real deal. Like, I don't want to discredit conferences, but sometimes you get people that speak on conference circuits and they're just it's like real top level information, because sometimes the people that are actually in the weeds testing stuff, they're at masterminds and they'll be happy to share something to a small group because they don't want to.
Yes.
They don't want to be on stage. They're not a public speaker. So
yeah. SEO skill and speaking on stage have no correlation at all.
No way.
They're uncorrelated.
Some of the best SEOs I know, like the people making the most money, like you've never heard of them. They're never going to speak in an event.
Yes,
like,
100%.
That's
let's get back to talking about affiliate sites. I heard you say that for your agency, you focus on content and probably technical SEO as well, and you're not touching link building. But what about for your affiliate sites? Are you able to rank without links, or you tossing links at it?
I think it depends on how competitive the vertical is. Like if you're in a super competitive niche like finance, or like sleep or tech niches, like everyone's doing link building. You've got to have that authority on your site. But if you're in like a super low competitive niche, like a super low keyword difficulty terms that you're going after, I think you can get away with like just doing content. Like I've got a friend who I partnered up with on an affiliate site. He actually used to work with me like 4 years ago, and we built a site together. So we've been running that ever since, and he's no longer an employee, but he's got his own sites, and he recently built a site targeting low competition queries, and he's getting like 1,000 clicks a day, and he hasn't done any link building yet. So I think if it's a low competition niche, definitely. But I think if you're trying to go into like finance verticals and stuff like that, and you're not doing link building, it's hard unless you're going after low competition stuff, like question and answer stuff, like looking at what like Quora and Reddit's ranking for, and like building your own landing pages based on reverse engineering that. Like you can rank for that type of stuff without links, but if you want to go for like commercial head terms, you definitely need some authority, is what I've seen.
Sure. And what kind of links do you build? Or I'm still not sure if I got a clear answer. Like, are you building links to your affiliate sites? Or
yeah, 100%. We are 100%.
What kind of links are you building?
We're building a whole range of different links, like we're building links into like content pieces, like statistic assets, research pieces. We're building links into like from guest posts, like high quality guest posts. Usually we'll vet the sites pretty heavily. So we only want to have sites that have like traffic from like Australia, US, Canada. We look at like sites that are like DR20 plus, minimum 1K traffic. Usually we'll check if the site's linking out to like CBD or anything like that. So usually we cut those kind of sites. Usually we try to go for like more quality sites, like real sites that have an editorial process. We're doing resource page links too. We're still definitely hitting that. I think that still works in certain verticals, especially like education. You can definitely get a lot of success in those niches. We're doing all sorts of stuff, like we're doing like your foundational links as well. Like everyone usually has to do that. Like we're targeting like any type of strategy, we'll give it a crack. Anything that's kind of scalable is what we want to do. Like I saw someone like the other day, they were talking to me, and they said that they had an agency and the only strategy was to use mention to get links. And it's like I said to the guy, I said, mate, like it's not the most scalable strategy. Like I think in the last 6 months,
you just have to wait till the opportunities show up.
We have to wait.
It's not proactive, it's reactive.
I think they got 2 links in like 6 months. And I was like, you're not going to get results in this competitive financial vertical that they were in. Like I said, you gotta use strategies that actually get results. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. They might see like a flashy strategy and then this is going to be game changer, but it might not be scalable. Especially in different verticals, different things seem to work, Like
absolutely.
Yeah, like different outreach strategies, like we've done some work with Bibi Buzz on outreach for our team. She's helped us with some training and stuff, and she's great. Like the stuff that she does is like crazy. Like she uses comedy so well for her outreach, and the GIFs and stuff that she uses in her outreach process, it's like next level. Like like it stands out, and that's what you need to do now. I think in outreach, you need to stand out because everyone is sending the same. Like great site. Here's 3 post ideas. I'm a long time reader. Like webmasters are sick of that. Like you got to stand out.
Not only that, but spam filters are sick of it too, and it's built in and doesn't even make it into inboxes these days. You got to go outside the box.
100%. You gotta do things that are going to stand out, and like everything's hitting spam filters. It's another thing. Like a lot of people don't do is they don't check like how like what's the spam rating of the email. Like I see people that are doing outreach, and then you check the email, and you're like, this has got a really bad spam rating. Your email, like you're not even hitting inboxes. And they're like,
yeah. What are you using to check for a spam rating? I'm using SendGrid.
We're just using like Mail Tester and some of those tools like that. Like just nothing crazy. Like I wouldn't say like we're going deep on that, but like it's some of them like are pretty decent. Some of those tools, the third party ones that you can use.
Yeah. What are some of the more grayer techniques that you're testing out on the affiliate sites? Obviously, like you said before, you can't go full Jarvis on a client site without them freaking out. But what are you doing for your affiliate sites?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, like what you define as grey hat. Like I think like expired domains is kind of grey hat. Like niche edits could be kind of grey hat. Like utilizing Jarvis content, like is that grey hat? I don't know. Like some people would say it's white hat, but it's a hard definition. Like
who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
all those definitions don't even really matter, to be honest. But
they do.
I guess the purists think everything is white hat. Not supposed to build links. They're supposed to come in magically. All content should be handwritten, that kind of stuff. But in terms of the gray hat stuff, you've played with Jarvis. Are you getting results from that?
Yeah, we're seeing we've only been using it for a couple of months, so I wouldn't say we're like deep experts. I mean, I've got some buddies who are affiliates and they're doing like 50,000 words a day on Jarvis. They've built a team around it. So they're building up their expired domains, utilizing it. I think to be honest with you, you can use it for like filler content. I'd say it's not there yet. You still need someone to go and edit it. Like you need an editorial process for it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's definitely good to help writers speed up the process. Like if you've got a big editorial team, and what Jarvis can do is it can help speed up that process. Like you can give them like sentence structure, can give them topic ideas, title ideas. Sometimes it's really good to speed up writers, I feel, and get them to produce more content. But you definitely need a human process to edit it, 100%.
Yeah. I find the same. I think its strength right now is to be able to complete a topical map. If you've watched my interview with Corey, and we talk about, in order to be an authority on apples, you need to cover all 500 different variations of topics on apples. And I think on the non-important ones, the ones that don't have no commercial intent, that are answering simple questions like how many calories in an apple, yes, Jarvis that up and just get it out there, get it indexed, and move on to the next thing.
Exactly, and especially for that query, if no one else has a landing page on it, you can use Jarvis, 100%.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole zero click search volume or whatever that someone was talking about recently. That stuff definitely works. Especially in finance, you can still do like content with no links if it's the super low search volume stuff. Because a lot of the time search volume is not accurate. You might see something that says 10 or 20 search volume, but it actually gets 1,000 searches a month. We see that so much, and you got to test that stuff. Sometimes you got to deploy a couple hundred articles and just risk it, because all it takes is for a handful of those articles to take off. They can be your money makers, and that's the same with affiliate sites. On your affiliate site, you might only have a handful of articles that are actually your money makers, your big money drivers. And that's definitely another thing that we see a lot of.
Speaking of money with affiliate, the model for making money with agency is pretty simple. The agency is paying me $5,000 a month. If I don't spend more than $5,000, I got myself a profit.
Yeah.
But on the affiliate side of things, you have no boundary on how much you can spend. And in the beginning of building an affiliate site, you're definitely in the red. And so the journey of an affiliate site, it usually could be profitable once the sites start to mature. I'm sure that one that's making 6 figures a year for you probably is in the green at this point. Yeah, I highly doubt you're spending $10,000 a month.
I can give you a story about that site if you want. I bought that site that site was making $200 a month, right? So when I bought that site, I think I only paid like 3,500. And the funny thing was, I think the person that actually built that site, I think they built it based off the affiliate lab training. So it was built with a really good structure, and like it had the right foundations. But what it needed someone to come in and scale it up, spend a couple of grand a month on like link acquisition and content, really start like building like hundreds of articles to it, like really start building up the authority, hitting it with like Harrow, building out those content assets. And that's kind of how we build it up. And we save that time, we save that like waiting around. And
the 6-month sandbox or whatever that
to
get
like
to that
the sandbox type
month
shenanigans, we kind of save that time. But definitely like you have to spend a lot more upfront on affiliate sites. Like you might need to I have the site that I was talking about with the partner of ours that I work with. I think we invested like 40,000 into that site and it had only made like 5K. And then in the last year, that site's really taken off, and now it's making like 2 or 3K a month. Like now we're you got that. It's taken a few years, but now it's really started to take off, and we're making the money back now. So that's the problem with affiliate sites. You might have like a slower base to kind of grow it up. Like you might have to wait like 6, 12, 24 months to see your ROI. But when you do, it really does come to fruition. You start seeing that money coming in, and like you got to spend a bit of money up front. And I think that's the key difference with agency. Like when you charge someone for services, like 5, 10K a month, like you can get that money up front. But the thing about the clients is like they can stop at any time, Yes. That's the beauty of agency. Like you can get really crazy results for a client. You can make them millions of dollars. You can scale shit out of their business, and then they can just be like, "Great work, guys. We've hired someone in house now. Thank you for the fantastic work over the last 3 years. We'll give you a testimonial, but stop all work immediately." That's kind of one thing that can be a bit annoying with agency, but it's part of the business, I remember years ago, I used to get frustrated when we'd get like a client and the new marketing person would start, and they'd cut us off to use their friend's agency or whatever. But you learn that you have to deal with that stuff. It's mindset. That person that you got results for that used to work at that business, they're going to go and start somewhere else. They're going to call you up in 6 months or 3 months or the next day and say, "We need you guys on the account." So you can make money faster up front with an agency. But if you want to build a long-term, bigger money generator, affiliate sites are definitely a big opportunity.
Yeah. And you touched upon this before, the money's in the flip, right? Because as you're building the site, you obviously want to grow it as you're building it. So let's say the affiliate site's making 10K a month. You want it to make 20K a month. So you're probably going to spend 5,000, 6,000, maybe even 8,000 at that point because you want to grow it. But when you flip it, depending on the marketplace, like Investors Club does their valuation based on revenue, not profit. So they just look at what is the last 6, 12 months revenue. That's when you get all the money back. So do you have flipping in your game plan for these sites?
Like, I mean, I've sold sites over the years. Like I said, back when I had a MySpace layout site in like 2006, 2007, 2008, I sold that site to like an end user. Like someone contacted the site directly. I've sold sites on it used to actually be called SitePoint Marketplace back in the day before they changed the name to Flipper. So I sold a few sites on that. This is way back, but I'd never sell a site there now just because you're not going to get a good multiple. And definitely in the future, like we'd sell some of these sites. Like actually one of the bigger sites now, I was thinking of selling it. Like I even hit up Gregory and I was like, "What do you think this site's worth?" And then he's like, "Do you even need the money to sell it now?" He's like, "If you don't need the money, just keep growing it." So yeah, I was talking to Gregory and no, I've got a mate who runs a brokerage too. So I was going to hit him up as well. Jock from Digital Exits. He's got business exits as well. So I think like I really like those businesses, Empire Flippers and Digital Exits if you're going to sell businesses. I've also familiar with the team at Investor Club as well. actually at Chiang Mai conference, I sat next to the founder. He's a great guy. I was chatting to him. I'm familiar with him through Traffic Think Tank as well. We've chatted on and off. So there's some good options to sell sites now, Like if you've got a small site that's just started, like you could try Flipper for like under 50K. But for bigger deals, you've got digital exits, you've got Empire Flippers, you got Investors Club, and then for like really big deals, you've got like FE. So there's options for affiliates to sell.
And you can't argue with 50x right now, and I don't see that changing direction. I pretty much scour all the marketplaces, and I see these days I haven't seen any site at 40x in maybe a month or two. So everything's 50x now, and I see it continuing up. And that's like taking a time machine into the future 4 years and just collecting all that money right now. And if you can't replicate that with 4 years worth of money, then you got a problem. That's the way I look at flipping.
Exactly.
That's why I love it. That's why my business model.
I think the thing with flipping as well, you limit the risk, like you limit your risk profile. Like a site could potentially, like an algorithm update could happen and you can see a little bit of a drop off. Like you kind of limit that risk, but then again, you can sell a site to someone who could scale it out of it. You could have a site that was making 20K a month, someone buys it, all of a sudden they double or triple the revenue, and you're like, it's a tricky one.
I try not to think about that one. I try not to look.
You can't think about
it's gone.
Stuff like
it's
that.
out of my mind. Yeah. So I have some questions related to other people in positions where maybe they have an agency or maybe they're a solo operator doing SEO for clients. What it's like to pivot into affiliate. So I noticed at one point in time you joined the affiliate lab, and I was like, great, awesome to have James in here. He's going to contribute a lot. What did the training process look like to getting your team on board with modern affiliate practice?
I think like the affiliate lab was really good to kind of show people the blueprint of what to do, like it kind of walks you through the steps of like how to start an affiliate site. Like I'll be straight up with you, a lot of that stuff I already knew, but some of our other team members like looked at that content and they were like, wow, this is like game changer. It's like a full blueprint of what to do to kind of grow an affiliate site. And even my partner, she's actually a dentist. She wanted to start an affiliate site in the last year because she originally wanted to get into one niche, and now she's changed the niche. But then I said, we'll just check out the beginner lab. And then she's like, oh, I've been on the beginner lab. And she liked it too. So I think it's got that whole like strategy and game plan on how to grow your site, And this could be an idea for you, Matt, but like you could start a marketplace with people that are actually affiliate lab members and get them to sell their sites on it if they want to make money, like, because like that site that I bought that was from an affiliate lab member, that's like blown up because it had the right structure,
It's good to think about. I have to think about liability and vetting and making sure there's no shadiness. But I don't
want to put Gregory and the team out of business or my mate Josh.
No, forget those guys. They're done. We're gonna do this. Just kidding.
It's an idea.
That's good. That's good feedback because the affiliate lab started as a training platform for our own new apprentices that we brought into a lead spring and stuff like that. And then we're just like, this is pretty close to a course. Let's just touch it up and then sell it as a course. So it's good that it still has that aspect of being able to train people. Is there anything particular that you've learned from like any kind of SEO tactics? And feel free to share it here.
I mean, some of the guest speakers that you get on, like I know you had Tom Desbiggery, the Australian SEO from Brisbane who's been killing it. Like you had him come on and do like a guest video about like featured snippets and stuff like that. Those type of things are really great because even if you're a seasoned SEO, you've been doing it for a long time, you have those like little like expert kind of interviews, and they're good for the people that might already know all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's been doing it for a while, they probably know the entry level stuff. But sometimes it's good that you get those extra modules in, like your email marketing and the featured snippet course, and and I mean, like to be honest with you, like where I've probably learned some tactics was just on the Facebook group, like randomly people share stuff like a couple of months ago, someone shared something about MockRack, as like an EAT signal, and like I was investigating that pretty heavily, and like one tactic that we've been utilizing is actually hiring writers who have authority and using, like, we just search through MuckRack, and basically find those writers, because a lot of them will have on their profile like ready to hire or whatnot, and they're already like an author on all these authoritative sites. And I'm seeing a lot more like bigger affiliate sites using that as like a signal now, like linking to their profile. And yeah, I'm seeing that. Like, I'm talking about like affiliate sites that are doing like 100 million. They're using that as a factor. So there's some big sites that are using it. So I've been investigating that. And I think I first came across that I think it was on the Affiliate Lab Facebook group. Someone was talking about a couple of months ago. And then I was talking to a mate that has a big affiliate site in the finance vertical, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm using that." And yeah, like there's little tactics that you can pick up like in the weeds, mentions of things.
Yeah, that was a good one about the muckrack strategy. It's like plug and play EAT, right? Like this person already has authority. They're already writing for fitness websites. Just put them on your about page. We've been doing something similar with link building too. I haven't released this in the affiliate lab, but here's a spoiler alert. But there's writers that write on like big platforms like ProBlogger, right? And there's like prolific writers that are writing all the time. They've been featured in all these different places. They're getting work every day. So you can just contact them and say, hey, next time you write for a fitness website, why don't you use my website as a link for a reference in the article? And I'll toss you $50 every time. And this has been a pretty sick link building technique for us.
I've actually tested something similar to that as well. Yeah. Like I put like job ads up on Upwork, and I'm like looking for like someone with a fitness website to share our resource. And then you just say like it's like fishing, Sometimes you might get 5 links, but you'll get like an editor who's like, yeah, I'll link to you for like $50 or whatever, but they're like really legitimate links. So you can do that. Yeah. Like it definitely works 100%.
Yeah. Well, what kind of different strategies, what are the SEO differences you see between client SEO and affiliate SEO? For the people that are thinking about making the switch, what do they need to think about? What do they need to watch out for?
I think like the different strategies is like a lot of clients that we work with are like mid to large businesses. So they want like pretty safe strategies, like they're pretty careful with like anchor text distribution, like content quality has to be really high. Like you could never, for certain clients that we work with, I just don't think Jarvis and that would be up to the quality that they require, especially in like health and finance. There's a lot of regulation. So the content has to be top notch that we produce for these clients, and there's like legal and regs and stuff that reviews it. So I think I guess a lot of the client work that we do is quite white hat, like 100%. Like we're pretty safe with clients. And I guess the other thing is like certain times with bigger clients, it does take a longer period of time to get things implemented, especially like changes. Like you'll be submitting Jira tickets for a client, and it might take them 6 to 12 months to actually implement something. Whereas if you're running your own affiliate site, you want to implement something crazy, you can do it like in the next few days or even right then and there. You just jump onto whatever CMS you're using. I think with affiliate sites, you can be a little bit more risky with the strategies you're using. Depends on the vertical. Like you look at some affiliate verticals, like everyone's doing all sorts of, like everyone's doing expired domains, everyone's blasting guest posts, everyone's doing Harrow links. Like it's crazy when you go into some niches and you just look at them and you're like, far out, everyone's already doing everything,
Yeah.
I love that though, because those are the best niches. Like those are the niches where people are making a lot of money because they're competitive. I like the competitive niches.
Yeah. How much staff do you throw at your affiliate sites?
So we've got 19
percentage wise.
Like we've got 19 staff at the moment, and like we only have about 42 current clients, but they're all mid to large clients. So like if any clients have like spare utilization time, they have a bit of spare time, we can just like get them to work on the affiliate sites. We have quite a few contractors that work for our business too, like just like writers or just freelance people that we utilize too, that we can like tap into additional resources. So yeah, we definitely we've got like in-house development resources, but then we've got external development resources, and we've got there's probably about 30 people or so that kind of work with our team. We've got the 19 the in the office, and then we've got the other 11 or so that kind of just help out with stuff like development, content, additional linking resources, stuff like that, so we can scale up sites. So we use essentially that 11 group of 11. They're kind of more focused on the affiliate stuff, I'd say 50% of their time. And then from the internal team, anytime they have some spare time, like it could be like in the second half of the month, like we've finished a lot of the client stuff, and then they're like, look, I've got some spare time. And they're like, well, let's just plan out what some of the stuff we can do for these sites that we own. And it's good in that sense.
Nice. How do you select which niches you want to get
into? Usually, like, we like more competitive niches. I know that sounds crazy, but like, I'm more into competitive niches because they're niches I already know about, like finance and stuff like that. And we go into like more niches that are competitive. I mean, how do we select them? I think like sometimes like we've utilized strategies, like one of the easiest way to like pick up niches is just to like put an affiliate link into like Ahrefs and look at all the sites that are linking to that, like Commission Junction or Commission Factory or whatever. You put their tracking link into Ahrefs, and then you kind of go through and sort out all the sites that are already doing affiliate, and then you can just export that to Excel and just sort through it and look for like the gems there, like what's a high paying niche that they're ranking and they're driving a lot of traffic to a low KD article, stuff like that. That's like one of my favorite all-time strategies. Been using for the last few years. Just like competitive research, you got to really research the hell out of a new niche. Like if you want to jump into a new niche, you have to invest a lot of time into research, like keyword research, topical research, looking at what competitors are doing. I think, one of the favorite things is always just jumping on Ahrefs and seeing how competitive certain keywords are in a niche, and just playing around with like the different filters on Ahrefs as well, looking at how the different competition levels are for a site, stuff like that.
I think one great thing about when you start to level up in SEO and you get more comfortable with your processes and you have a little bit more budget, you don't have to think so much about niche research. You just decide, do I want to do tech or do I want to do finance? And then you build your finance site, and then you can build into these little mini niches as you go along underneath finance. And that's something that at the beginning you have to be kind of selective. So I'm not just going to choose finance. I'm going to pick this small sector under finance, like I don't know, robo investing or something like that. But later on, you can just be more relaxed because like you'll get there eventually. One of the questions I had for you is, what has been your biggest challenge to date on the affiliate side?
Biggest challenge today, it could probably be things like affiliate managers that you work with directly wanting like where they'll be like, can you update these 100 pages in the next day? Like, oh, we need all this content change. We're releasing a new product line. These 100 pages needs to be changed now. Our legal team has picked this up. Stuff like that. Like, I know people say in affiliate, like you're your own boss and you don't have to deal with clients. But I feel like when you start growing an affiliate asset and then you start taking on like a lot of partners, and some of them can get a little bit demanding, especially if they're bigger teams. And then it's hard if they're paying you a couple of grand a month, like in affiliate commissions, if not more. You kind of want to make those changes to keep them happy, So I think that's a challenge with affiliate that I've seen. I think another one is like sometimes the time that it can take for a new site to grow. That's a challenge, but you can just buy a site to bypass that if you got the money, you got the cash ready, stuff like that. Like they're two big ones that have been pain points.
How about turnover? Because you're teaching your employees how to fish. Obviously, you're teaching your employees like with the agency side stuff, but not everyone's cut out to wanting to manage an agency and do sales and all that kind of stuff. But with affiliate, you're literally teaching people how to fish. So have you had turnover problems?
That is a big problem. Like, and you're right. Like we've had staff that have worked here for a couple of years, and then they've built their own site, and they're like, far out, making a lot of money on this site. I don't really need this agency job anymore. That is a risk, 100%. Like even one of my ex-staff recently, like he left like 2 years ago. He's built up his own business, and that just got acquired. Like, and it was like pretty good exit for him in the stock niche, I believe. So, like that's a big risk. Like, I guess that's something that can happen to any agency, you know. Like if you're doing SEO, like people are always going to try to hire you. Like I think the thing is, like a lot of these people that come to our team and they already have an affiliate site or an e-commerce site, and then they just want to do an agency job for a bit. Like they could potentially leave eventually when their site starts building up. That's definitely something that's happened. I'm not going to lie. Like we've had a few of our ex staff like come and like build up their own business and whatnot.
Do you use any retention strategies like profit share on the affiliate sites, or I heard you say you have bonuses based on like who wins the traffic contest? But
yeah, that's just one thing that we've done. Like we've done like a traffic bonus. I mean, like we pay our staff pretty well. Like wages in Sydney are pretty high at the moment for SEO talent, so yeah, we pay everyone pretty well. We do like yearly bonuses, like yeah, like we do a lot of like fun things. Like we paid for a couple of staff to go to Chiang Mai SEO. Like shit like that's expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not expensive like to go to Chiang Mai, but like from Australia, you got to pay for flights, accommodation, and then you got a group of people. It's like it starts to add up quickly, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Meals. Yeah,
meals,
sure.
like everything, you know, like going out to fancy restaurants. Like we went out to dinner with some of our team at that restaurant where the mastermind was, like stuff like that. Like starts adding up, you know. Like
yeah,
but it's a great time, you know, and the team loves it. And then you go to an event like that, and then they get more excited for SEO. You know, I remember one of our staff, like he went to Chiang Mai SEO. He never had an affiliate site, but I think like a couple of weeks after he went, he was already starting his own, you know. So I think things like that does incentivize people to kind of get sites set up and get motivated about the space.
Good. What do you think is a healthy balance between client SEO and affiliate SEO for you? Would you ever go full affiliate?
Look, I think the thing about our clients that we work for is like we've got some really good clients. So a lot of the clients that we work with are actually like in-house SEOs. A few of them actually run their own affiliate site on the side. So they like working with our team because they can talk shop and talk about affiliate sites and talk more like advanced SEO. I think a healthy mix at the moment, we're probably doing like 80-20, like 80% client, 20% affiliate. I don't think I'd ever get rid of some of our bigger clients because we've got some really good like bigger clients that have been around for a while, and we're doing some really great work for them, and yeah, they're getting good results. So I think a healthy mix is good just to diversify. I definitely like the affiliate stuff. It's like it's something you can get passionate about. I think it's always fun when you set up like an email notification about a lead coming in, and then you just see those emails coming in. I don't know, even though that's a bit weird, it's like a dopamine hit.
It's not weird. It's not weird. Everyone does it. Everyone looks at their rank trackers every day. Everyone looks at their analytics every day. It's not weird.
Yeah, no, I mainly just look at like Google Search Console, and like we get like some of our affiliate partners send their email sales and stuff when you get a sale coming in. It's like that little dopamine hit, you know, like the emails start coming in, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's great. I think that's the great thing is when you make money when you sleep, you know, like you wake up in the morning and you've seen like 10 or 20 sales come in, and like when you've been asleep, you can't really do that with an agency. I mean, I've got staff now that work for our team in the US, so they're kind of helping overnight with tasks and stuff, so that's cool too. But yeah, I think like there's benefits of both. I don't think I'd ever go 100% affiliate for the moment, but I don't know. Things can change, you don't know. But at the moment, like we're still having a lot of great fun with the agency stuff. Like we just hired another 5 junior SEOs that we're putting through our onboarding process at the moment. We built out like a 200-point onboarding video Loom checklist thing for the juniors, and like it's still a lot of fun. Like I still like doing the agency stuff. I still like talking to some big clients. I like doing the sales. Like I still enjoy it.
Got it. Any regrets from transferring or you're dipping your foot into the affiliate side? Any regrets so far?
Not really. Like, I mean, I've seen some other agency owners like who have started affiliate sites say like affiliate is dead, but I don't think it is. I think there's too many benefits to be playing around with it, you know, like especially from like the testing point of view, and like building out an asset that has the potential to grow. I think because there's like, and it's just another revenue stream, you know? Like if you've got affiliate sites and you've got an agency, it's just another way that you can make money, you know? Like you've got to hedge your risks, you know? Because clients can leave at any time. Like I could walk into the office next week or pick up my computer at home and we could have 5 clients just decide to leave because of coronavirus or because of some new person starting. That's the risk of agency. But the risk of affiliate is algorithm updates. Partners can leave too. Like you can have a partner that you're killing it with and then you're making good money and then they can just stop paying you. Like that's happened too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Got it. Let's see. What kind of words of advice would you have for people considering to get into affiliate, whether they're an agency owner or just a newbie wanting to get started?
I'd recommend just joining like the Affiliate Lab course. Like it's one of the best courses on the market. I'm not going to lie. And Matt didn't pay me to say this. Just from personal opinion, I've done a few courses over the years. Like I've spent like $40,000 for our team on courses. You know, like I've bought shitloads of courses. I'm not going to lie, and it's definitely one of the best courses for affiliates. Like especially if you want to learn the correct structure to grow your site on. Like, and that's something I'm always looking for if I'm going to buy a site. Like if someone's built the site based on doing the Affiliate Lab course, like that's always a bonus, you know? Yeah, like stuff like that. Like it's worth it because the price you pay, it's so good for like the amount of content you're getting. I think, if anything, I'd say put the price up. But I guess
I really appreciate that.
You want to get out to a bigger market, so it's good. I mean, like the Facebook group's good too because like people will share goodies on there from time to time. You know, you just got to have it. You got to follow those groups because sometimes like once a week or once a month, you'll see something that is worth your time. You know, and like I'm on so many different groups, like, and a lot of them they just turn to trash, and then you just get out of there. So I definitely would advise people join up to the group and check out, get involved in the conversations. And it's great to hear that you're going to do that mastermind thing. I think that's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people that have never experienced the mastermind. It's one of, I probably prefer masterminds over conferences, but I still like them more. Like
yeah. Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. It is kind of a labor of love with the Affiliate Lab. I think a lot of people have the perception that info product, that's how people get rich, by teaching people all this stuff. Well, actually being good at affiliate SEO blows teaching SEO out of the water. So it's good to hear that kind of feedback. Really, I appreciate that. Where can people learn more about you?
prosperitymedia.com.au. I'm on Twitter, Connections8. Yeah, like we run events in Sydney before all this coronavirus shenanigans. We were running a lot of meetups. We run a meetup called Online Marketing Sydney. It's primarily SEO and growth marketing focused. Get a lot of affiliates coming to that. Yeah, hopefully when coronavirus dies down, we can start running more events. Yeah, we just love meetups and events and just meeting up for a few drinks. Masterminds, like usually we're pretty selective who we invite to those. Just like friends of friends in the industry, people that are like doing well. Sometimes we'll invite like additional people, you know. It's crazy when you run a mastermind and you just get hit up by like everyone under the sun. And they're like, give me an invite to the mastermind. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Right.
I've never talked to you before. Like, if you want to get an invite, you've got to put in the groundwork. You know, you got to come to a few of the other events. You got to show that you can. You know, make yourself known. Like, you got to put in the groundwork.
Absolutely. Well, dude, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for sharing all these nuggets. It's good to see into your strategy. It's good to understand why you're diversifying. So again, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the Affiliate Lab.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the call. And yeah, I highly advise everyone signs up to the lab. And yeah, see everyone in the Facebook group.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.